We all have that one person, that friend, that partner, or even family who's been pulling us down instead of lifting us up. You know the relationship isn't good for you, but you stay. The reason why is because leaving feels harder than holding on. And here's the truth: breaking free isn't about them, it's about you. And once you realize that, you start seeing just how much power you've been giving away. So here's why breaking free feels impossible. And I'm calling it breaking free because you literally want to break free from something toxic. Because toxic relationships are sneaky. Like they don't come with a warning label. In the beginning, it feels exciting. You feel loved, needed, and even seen. And that is where the trap begins. You get attached to the good parts, and that starts accusing the bad. You're basically addicted to the highs and numb to the lows. You cling to that hope that they'll change, or maybe you start to believe you're the problem. But this cycle is not love, it's survival, and it's draining you and your energy, your confidence, whatever, and your peace. It's the fear of leaving, like walking away feels like lost. You grieve the idea of what the relationship could have been and not what it actually is. And that makes letting go impossible. And here's the uncomfortable truth: you can't change someone who doesn't want to change. You can only change how much of your life you let them take up. So breaking free isn't about punishing them, it's about saving yourself. Let me get this very straight with you. If you are in a relationship with a partner, a boy or girl or whatever, and you want to change them, that is not your business to change them. You shouldn't want to change them because you went into a relationship with somebody you love and you took that person for what he is. I'm not saying that you can't make a relationship work by giving a bit of yourself or changing a bit of yourself to make the relationship work, because we all have our flaws, we all have our things we need to work on, we all have our childhood and whatever traumas we've been dealing with. But that doesn't mean that you need to change the other person, because you take somebody for who he is. And I think we all sometimes live in a fairy tale that a relationship should be like the things we see in the movies. But there's the thing that you go wrong, because a relationship is very raw, and especially when it's somebody you love. And that doesn't really count. That does count also for the relationship you are in with friends, because everybody is different. And I think a very important thing is that you just keep being yourself. And if somebody tries to change the way you are and you like that thing about yourself, you should never even consider changing that. But don't do it on the opposite part, don't do it in the other person as well. I think that is really important. So here are four things that you can do to break free. So the number one thing is identify what's holding you into that relationship. Is it the fear of being alone? Is it the what if or the comfort, or if it's familiarity? Be so honest with yourself, because when you can see the change, you can stop breaking them. When you can see the patterns, you can stop going on in that vicious cycle of going on and on and on and on. Like I see a lot of girls saying, "Oh, I'm my type is the bad type of guy," and I can understand that. Like, who doesn't want a bad boy? But there's a difference between what is a bad boy for you. Is that somebody who's hurting you? Because I don't think that needs to be a type. Like, then you are the one who's toxic. If you are into the dominant type of guy, you need to understand what dominant men are, and you need to understand by yourself, is that what you're seeking for? What is what you're really seeking into a relationship? So to go on and into the next step is to set non-negotiable boundaries. Stop bending your limits for people who cross them. Boundaries are the line where your self-respect begins. If they can't respect that, it says everything about them and it says nothing about you. But you need to have those boundaries before you go into a relationship with somebody. And that doesn't mean only a partner, it means also your friends and family. Because let me tell you one thing: family, you can choose, and that is my perspective, and you can feel about that, whatever. But you can choose the persons who you hang out with or the person you are in your life. You can choose people, but you need to set non-negotiable boundaries. What is important for you to be in a relationship, even if it's a friend, family, a partner? What is important to you? How do you want to be treated? You ask yourself that, and you set these non-negotiable boundaries. And when somebody's gonna cross that, when you're going into a relationship, you like somebody, and he goes over that boundaries, you know that's not the type of person you want in your life. So the next step is that you need to accept the grief and let go. And here is something that is not nice to hear, but leaving will hurt you. You will question yourself. You will wonder if you make the right choice, but you can't heal in the same environment that broke you. Grieve the loss and what you thought you had, and trust that the better is out there. Trust that the choice you make, and it feels not right in the beginning, but trust yourself, trust that decision you're making. Everything happens for a reason. That relationship that is toxic, that didn't work out, you need to leave that, because there is something else on the path for you. And I know that is hard, and I know that it hurts, but you will grow from every situations, and this is the best thing to do. I think another important thing is to build a support system, because you need people who remind you of who you are outside of them. Surround yourself with friends, mentors, or even professionals who can ground you when the doubts creep in. And I talked about this in another video of mine, but you can actually build your own tribe. And the reason why we always need to have approval from everybody is because that was our survival system a long time ago. And that's not our survival system anymore. We can actually survive individual. I don't think it's a healthy way to do everything alone, but we can. Build your own support system, build your own tribe. When you set those values, by even a value of yours is that you want to be respected, build your tribe of people that have that value as much as you have that value. Have people that respect you, have people that uplift you, have people that have like-minded mindsets. And when you know that these people you can trust with your vulnerability, and you need that accountability, so when you take the step of leaving a toxic relation, that they will have your back and you can support on them. So another thing that's really important is to focus on your own growth. When you walk away from that toxic relationship, you are not losing. You're gaining the space to rebuild yourself, your confidence, your standards, your future. You start putting yourself first, and it's beginning with leaving everything that's toxic in your life, with everything that is negative in your life. So when you cut loose from people, I know that is kind of grief. I know that is you cutting a tire you have with somebody, you cutting attachment you have with something, and that goes against our nature. But you choosing for yourself is the best thing you always can do. So maybe you can see it as a failure, but you're not losing. You're growing. You take responsibility for yourself. You want the best for yourself. You want to have that self respect. Own that self respect and walk away eventually. Because it is worth it. It is worth it to cut toxic people out of your life, because they were once there. Maybe they were supporting you and maybe they have your back. But if they're toxic now and they're negative and they're holding you down, that's not worth it anymore. So, why is this all worth it? Here's what you want to know: breaking free isn't the end of the story, it's the start of a better one. It feels messy, it feels uncomfortable, it feels even scary. But when you finally choose yourself, you wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Because toxic love isn't love. And peace, growth, and freedom, that's what you deserve. So if this hit home and it was something that really helped you, or you really needed to hear that insight, in the link below, I have a free 20 days insight that helps you build that confidence and get more insights like these. And if you are really ready to rebuild your life, There is another link inside of here that goes to my group coaching and my one-on-one coaching. So if you're ready for that, just hit the link and you get more information and we have a call about it.